Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, my dad took mom's truck away. Well, if you're sure that's how to do it. One by one. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. My dad took mom's truck away. So when I was younger, about 8 to 10, my parents got into a heated argument. I don't remember every detail, but it went along the lines of him saying I pay for everything, not true, and that truck is in my name. It ended up escalating to him taking the truck from her and saying good luck getting to where you need to go. The truck was in his name, so he believed it would stop her. Before all this, we were a family with 5 kids, 2 adults and 1 vehicle. My mother constantly took the via bus everywhere. This included grocery stores, doctor visits, her 2 jobs, and anywhere else needed. So this was nothing new to her. About an hour later, she says to me, "Want to go to the bank?" And of course, being a mama's girl, I jumped up to go. We walked about 2 to 3 miles, our city doesn't have via routes, to get to the closest stop. All in all, the trip took us about 5 hours to get to the bank, get back to the stop, and then walk home. My father was visibly upset as to why she was gone so long, took his child, and didn't say anything to him. So she simply responded, "Truck or no truck, I have things to do." He said nothing else to her and just handed her back the keys. Well, if you're sure that's how to do it. I have a favorite memory from when I was about 6 years old, when I had the pleasure of witnessing the rare double whammy of a classic mansplain followed by malicious compliance, so simple and well executed that it was practically a work of art. I was sitting down to dinner with my brother and our mom and dad when I asked my brother to pass the salad dressing. He attempted to comply, but the handoff was intercepted by our father, who loudly proclaimed to the rest of us, "Wait. You always pour out too much salad dressing and then you waste it. Let me show you how it's done." While he informed me of my inadequate salad dressing application techniques, he also proceeded to unscrew the cap of the dressing, presumably in preparation of his impromptu lesson on proper salad dressing etiquette. However, he was so focused on making sure I knew I was in the wrong that he failed to notice the lid was of the snap open and closed variety utilized by most squeeze bottles, so he wasn't just opening the bottle to get ready to pour, he was removing the lid and the squeeze bottle insert, so when he appended the bottle to show me how to do it, almost the entire contents of the nearly full container poured out over his meal in one huge and hilarious blob. Now you may be wondering how the other members of the family reacted to such a hugely hilarious blunder. Well, dear reader, this is where the malicious compliance comes in. While the rest of us stared in shock and horror at the river of Italian dressing running down my father's salad, off of his plate, to form a pool on the linen tablecloth, my brother took action in the most hilarious way possible. He grabbed a second bottle of salad dressing from the table and began removing the lid and squeezing insert together at the same time. Then he turned to our father with a beatific smile on his face and said, "I think I get it, Dad, is this how you showed us to do it?" At which point he appended and spilled the second full bottle of salad dressing in as many minutes, and we all watched as the dressing ran off of his plate to join together with the remains from our fathers. One by one. I was recently reminded of this story from a colleague. I work in contracts, meaning my department audits sign documents to make sure everything is legal and compliant with our policies. We have a very old system that we use, think early DOS. Like a black screen with white words and you type everything manually. Looks like Pong. So typically what happens is I would get a contract for specific mechanical equipment and I would review to make sure it's possible in a physical sense and that the finances also make sense. Occasionally we will encounter a situation where we need to update our system to allow a contract to go through. This would be if we sold an older equipment that we no longer build but had a few spares lying around. Or if a client bought our equipment from a third-party provider but wants us to service it since we're the official company that makes this stuff. It's kind of like a car dealership selling a used car that they don't make anymore. It's still part of their brand, but they might not necessarily have software to support it since it's so outdated. Trying to explain best I can. When we have these types of contracts with older equipment, all we have to do is send a note to a person in a specific department and ask her to open the system temporarily to allow these devices to be added and serviced. The way we send this request is that we fill out a form and submit it to this lady. This lady is something. She's a combination of a power-hungry overlord and a scared, pathetic mouse. It's very interesting to see. I sometimes play a game to bet on which mode she will respond with. She's very much a bully who cries when she gets called out for being a bully and then says she's being bullied. Yeah. She's fun. So anyways, one day I received 85 new contracts, same client, all for used equipment that we don't make anymore and have not for years. Someone found a whole bunch of them for dirt cheap and bought them and now want us to service them. Cool. Good find, Mr. Client. We will be happy to help. Typically, you submit one request form per device. Filling out the form is a bit of a pain because it's a very manual process and a bit time-consuming. I like to be efficient and make life easier, so I did some reviewing and noticed that there are really only like 5 models of machines. 85 different serial numbers, but only 5 types. So I sent off a quick email saying the following. Hi lady. Not her name, but I'm calling her that here. I have a whole bunch of machines to add to the system, but I don't want to submit 85 different tickets to you, lol. I checked and saw there's only 5 model types. Can I send you the request in batches by model? Might make our lives a bit easier than going one by one. Now this lady is notorious for sticking to the rules. I don't usually mind because rules exist for a reason, however, they were also created by people and therefore can be changed by people. In this instance, I was hoping lady would understand that I'm trying to save us both some time. Nope. Her response was, It is unacceptable that you think you have the right to change the way we do things. Especially that you don't even work in my department and have no concept of what it is that I do. We do not work however we want. We have procedures to follow, and if you are unfamiliar with these procedures, then it is clear to me that you need training. A new level of stupidity has been achieved. You want me to follow procedures? You don't want to understand that I'm trying to help us both? Let's go then. I spent the next 3 hours creating my email/ticket requests. But I didn't submit them as I went. Oh no. I waited until I had 85 of them ready to go. Once they were loaded, I spent a hilarious moment clicking send. It was like I was launching little torpedoes every time I clicked send. Each causing small devastation as they build up in her inbox and overshadow anything else that might have been in her queue. Also, I know she keeps the volume on, so I know she was hearing that ding. That has traumatized Outlook users everywhere. One by one, 85 different requests were running to her inbox like moths to a flame. I waited for the inevitable tantrum. Hey, I see you're sending me a bunch of requests, can't you just bunch them together? This is a lot and it's messing up my system now due to the constant influx of emails and tickets. Did I forget to mention that our laptops are also super old? That many emails in one shot most definitely froze her Outlook for some time. I replied, "Oh, sorry that you're having a hard time. I was just following procedure as per your request. I already sent them all, so nothing I can do." Well, how many requests did you send? 85. What? I then put my status to out to lunch. Have fun, lady. I'm getting a sandwich. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.